Jesus Christ. Judge me heart down my mouth.
When the six them roll, made up a short thing, them one carry, better stop the talking, let bust.
Hey everyone, and welcome to the News 876. One man is dead, and at least 2 others injured after gunmen opened fire on a Toyota wagon motorcar near the intersection of Carlos Street and Ariapita Avenue, Woodbrook, shortly after 11 p.m. According to preliminary reports, the deceased man is known in the entertainment industry as DJ Global and has been identified as 28-year-old Kavir Alvin Nandram. Investigators on the site told the news center that he was the driver of the vehicle, but they couldn't shed any more light on the incident. 2 other persons, one believed to be kman 6, was injured in the attack. Shattered glass from the Toyota vehicle were on the roadway along Carlos Street, just after off-the-avenue food court with the victim's car, later found across the avenue further down Carlos Street, crashed into a parked vehicle. Investigators will rely on CCTV footage from the intersection to piece together what happened, but it is believed the gunman opened fire on the car before it could cross the avenue intersection, killing the driver who tried to flee before crashing a short distance away. The other men in the car were also shot and later rushed to the Port of Spain General Hospital. Several homicide cops and Port of Spain CID officers were on the scene gathering evidence and cordoning off the area from pedestrians and vehicles. Police cordoned off the area for at least a block in each direction. A firearm, police say, was recovered from the victim's car. They are yet to ascertain a motive for the shooting. This is the second murder to have occurred along the avenue in the last month. The murder count now stands at 460.
A few moments later.
That's right. I just assassinate this.
It's for them rasta city them.
Nyamka!
Me and all my clown chase terrorists.
Nyamka! Nyamka!
What you got around boys may send them mother con 9 is 40 and 50 and up the mother con don't get we mad and feel we
Put a mix some rasta attack, but it's here to decay when Taliban march out. Rasta boy crawl up, you see him only crawl up. But now that bastard, man I go all up.
Nyamka!
Your lips them follow. From the car trunk, pull it all up.
Why are Trinidad and Tobago's gangs becoming more violent? A number of new criminal gangs have emerged in the country over the past 6 months. Trinidadians are facing threats of murder, extortion, robbery, and violence from not only members of larger gangs such as Rasta City or Muslim. There is a growing threat from smaller gangs whose activities are focused along the east-west corridor, as well as communities in the central and eastern divisions. Police data and senior police sources also indicate there are now about 140 gangs in operation throughout the country. Years ago, police data showed there were about 92 gangs operating in the country, with almost 1,700 members. But officers say this number has increased over the years. Of the 140 or so criminal gangs operating today, there are about 8 main ones. They go by the titles Tyson, Muslim, Rasta City, and EBG. Everybody gets it. 6, 7, Bombay Gang, and Police. These gangs are involved mainly in the drug trade, firearms trade, and armed robberies. They also are the main perpetrators of incidents like shooting, arson, extortion, kidnapping, and murder. The gangs are also involved in crimes like human trafficking and illegal quarrying. However, there are several smaller gangs in operation throughout the country. They include the Bat, Ztek, and Big Fish gangs. One group even called themselves Batman, police said. Other smaller gangs just go by the name of the area they operate in, such as 9th Street, St. Paul, Maloney, and La Horquetta. The smaller groups tend to run illegal activities within certain communities, with some operations limited only to certain streets. They conduct robberies, larcenies, and drug sales. Despite their size, they are still considered dangerous as these groups are armed. And with reports of home invasions and armed robberies seeing a spike in recent weeks, the prevalence of such gangs is concerning to senior police officials. Last week, the Trinidad and Tobago Postal Corporation, TT Post, sent a memo to employees advising staff members about their attire while delivering mail in certain communities. Dated May 16th, it was addressed to delivery leaders and delivery officers, and recommended that workers stay away from clothing or items bearing the numbers 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, as these numbers represent rival gangs. The circular said, "In an effort to protect the lives of our delivery officers, and on advice of the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, TTPS, with immediate effect delivery officers are not to wear and/or carry any item, clothing, shoes, caps, handbags, umbrellas, or any other paraphernalia, while out on delivery bearing the numbers 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9, as these numbers represent different gangs across communities, namely Tyson, Rasta City, EBG, Everybody Gets It, 6, Boom Bay Gang, and Police. This has become necessary due to the accelerated gang-related shootings, reprisals, and other incidents within several communities. Personnel are kindly asked to adhere to this policy to maintain their personal security and safely deliver the mail." Anthon Boney, the former leader of the Muslims gang in Trinidad and Tobago, who was shot dead in September 2021. Authorities in Trinidad and Tobago have warned legislators that the Caribbean island nation is likely to see a rise in violent crimes as gangs splinter and bounce back from the pandemic. The country's intelligence body, the Strategic Services Agency, SSA, issued its 2021 security report to Parliament. Though serious crimes decreased in 2021 due to the COVID-19 pandemic, the intelligence assessment said that the country was seeing a new crime wave. The SSA also predicted the splintering of gangs, potentially resulting in an increase in murders, injuries, shootings, and other violent crimes. Shootings in recent weeks indicate renewed gang warfare. On May 10th, a suspected gang leader was gunned down in St. James, a district in the country's capital, Port of Spain. 4 of the 6 killings during the week of April 25th were attributed to gang violence. 2 of the men shot dead were suspected of belonging to the country's 2 largest gangs, Rasta City and the Muslims. In 2021, Trinidad and Tobago recorded 448 homicides, an increase from 399 in 2020. The tally, however, was below the 539 murders reported in 2019 prior to the pandemic. 3 factors help to explain the complex criminal landscape and rise in violence in Trinidad and Tobago. First, it appears that gangs are splintering and, in the process, becoming more vicious. In March 2022, Security Minister Fitzgerald Hines told Parliament that the 2021 killing of a gang leader had generated deep ramifications in the criminal underworld. Hines did not name the gang leader, but he was likely referring to Anthon Boney. Boney was the alleged leader of the Muslims who was shot dead in a well-orchestrated attack in September 2021. He was driving on a highway in Port of Spain when gunmen dressed in tactical gear stopped his vehicle and shot him at close range. Boney's death has caused internal warfare among the Muslims, a union of gangs with some 600 members. Other gangs have also used the upheaval to muscle in on the Boney's operations. In November, killings in Trinidad and Tobago climbed to 69, the highest monthly total since at least 2013. These newer gangs are anticipated to be more volatile as they try to establish themselves, the 2021 SSA report states. Second, The gangs are profiting from activities beyond extortion and drug sales, according to the report. Given their power in many poorer neighborhoods, gang bosses are presenting themselves as community leaders, and they have been awarded numerous contracts to execute public works. Gang activities now include illegal quarrying, sand mining, fraud scheming, money laundering, black market sale and resale of U.S. currency, party and events promotion, organized robbery, motor vehicle larceny, marijuana trafficking, counterfeiting, human smuggling, and illegal gambling, the report states. Third, gangs have increasing access to firearms. In 2019, the SSA estimated that over 8,000 illegal guns were circulating in Trinidad and Tobago. The SSA report pointed to both the United States and Venezuela as sources for guns smuggled into the country. Several Venezuelan nationals have been charged with possession of illegal weapons in Trinidad and Tobago. Corrupt customs and port staff have also been implicated in weapons smuggling. Police corruption also appears to lead to guns being returned to the streets. The SSA report said that illicit firearms seized by the police from violent criminals are making their way back into the hands of gang members.